Howdy folks, my name is Richard Procopio, aka Bog Otter from Massively.com. ArenaNet's Guild Wars 2 features one of the most beautifully realized virtual worlds we've ever seen. I'm constantly amazed at the picturesque environments, the sense of scale in the boss encounters, and the depth of the sound design. I assembled a list of my top 10 epic encounters in Guild Wars 2, so let's take a tour of Tyria's most awe-inspiring gameplay moments. And I promise, no Quaggan were harmed in the making of this video.
Quaggan likes you.
Number 10.
Introduced in the Shadow of the Mad King patch, Vetas Lab is a mini-dungeon and jumping puzzle with a variety of different challenges for players to overcome. Located in Fireheart Rise, players will first need to navigate a set of disappearing platforms hovering over a river of lava. But don't worry, it's easier than it sounds. Next, waves of corrupted test subjects will come to the defense of the lab, culminating in a final Risen Abomination boss fight. The Escher Puzzle Room is next, and players will have to choose the correct portals to enter to move on to the next section. If you fail to choose wisely, then gravity will have its way with you. To get to the final area, players will traverse on tiny railings patrolled by golem assistants. These golems will knock you off and cause you to start the balancing act from the beginning. If you're not sure-footed enough to tackle this on your own, bring a Mesmer. Finally, players will face off against the Killbot 900, who will use lightning whips, ice blasts, and flame and earthquake jumps to knock you into the shark-infested waters below. At least the sharks don't have laser beams attached to their heads. Once the golem has been defeated, Vexa herself will try to dispatch you and prevent you from nabbing your sweet rewards.
Number 9.
Guild Wars 1 players will remember the Temple of Ages fondly, but in Guild Wars 2 it is sunk beneath the God's Lost Swamp. Every few hours players converge on this area because the Shadow Behemoth world boss emerges. While there isn't any strategy required to take down this low-level menace, it's certainly one of the more visually stunning encounters in the game, and therefore makes the list.
Number 8.
The Giganticus lupicus are a mysterious race of wolf-like giants that, according to the Derman Priory, became extinct during the Elder Dragon's previous rise. Players can, however, battle an undead specimen of these great giants in all 4 explorable paths in the ruined City of Arad dungeon. Although you can find videos of skilled players taking on this giant monstrosity solo, for most groups this is a complex 3-phase fight that will test your situational awareness and coordination. Phase 1 is all about grub control. Kill them before they reach Lupicus to prevent the nasty giant from becoming even more powerful. In Phase 2, players will dodge a variety of Necrid projectiles and avoid the boss while he tries to shadow walk all over you. In Phase 3, Lupicus will employ many life-draining attacks in a last-ditch attempt to cling to its Zytan-induced unlife.
Number 7.
The waters in northern Sparkfly Fen may look peaceful, but something terrifying lurks just below the surface. The Orion Risen ship Ash Horizon will assault the beach at Fort Cadence as part of a meta-event chain, and players can repel the invasion using various siege weapons. As the Risen storm the beach, the Ash Horizon will fling large corrupted fish at the defenders, poisoning the area. Stand your ground with your allies, and your battle prowess will be rewarded with this amazing sight.
Number 6.
After fighting the Shatterer dozens of times, it's easy to become jaded and consider Krakatorik's champion little more than a loot pinata Zergfest. I urge you, however, to recall the first time you saw this crystalline dragon descending from the sky and shaking the ground as it landed. While the mechanics of this world boss are simplistic, there's no denying that the Shatterer is gorgeously rendered, and his death animation alone is enough to score him a spot on the epic list.
Number 5.
For players with a penchant for large-scale siege warfare, World vs. World is a virtual paradise. 3 servers compete in week-long battles, vying for control over 4 colossal maps filled with supply camps, towers, and keeps. Every 15 minutes, scores are tallied and servers are awarded points based on how many key locations they have secured. What could be more epic than hundreds of players reliving their childhood backyard fort shenanigans by assaulting each other in Guild Wars 2 with arrow carts, ballista, trebuchet, and even siege golems? Whether you're a fresh recruit or a battle-scarred veteran, World vs. World has something for you. Just don't stray too far from your group.
Number 4.
While this next one may be a bit of a controversial pick, the Faucets Bounty jumping puzzle in the Harathi hinterlands holds a special place in my heart. After figuring out some simple door-opening puzzles involving boulders, players will navigate a series of traps, obstacles, and ghostly crew members before they finally emerge in a water-filled cave. As Faucet's pirate ship comes into view, players who grew up in the 80s may have the sudden urge to shout out the words, "Hey you guys!" After completing the Goonies-inspired jumping puzzle, players can descend into the ship's hold and steal some treasure from the long-dead pirates sitting there. Don't you see? It's our time down here.
Number 3.
Unlike most of the world bosses, the Claw of Jor Mag encounter is a multi-phase affair. In the first phase, players must take out an icy barrier using specialized pack weapons before they can wound this ice-laden dragon. Upon reaching 50% health, the Claw of Jor Mag will get blasted out of the sky in an action-packed sequence. In Phase 2, players will escort explosive golems to the now wingless dragon in an attempt to burn down his defenses. Destroying ice pillars that get in the way is crucial, as they will topple any golem that gets near them. When the Claw becomes stunned, throw everything you got at him and you'll be looting the frost chest in no time.
Number 2.
The Fractal of the Mist is a unique experience where players face a set of 3 random mini-dungeons in which the difficulty increases the more times you complete them. My favorite of these encounters is the Cliffside Fractal, where a mysterious creature known as the Colossus is bound against his will. Players will battle their way through throngs of diviners while carrying a corrupted cultist hammer. This hammer is required to break the seals that restrain the Colossus, but there's a catch. Holding the hammer for too long is hazardous to one's health. As players climb the cliff and destroy the seals, they need to constantly be aware of their own corruption levels and trade the hammer to allies if necessary. This mechanic instills a sense of urgency as players ascend many levels of traps and enemies to reach the top. After a final boss battle against the legendary Archdiviner, players finally free the gentle giant, who bows to the players in silent appreciation. Don't forget to perform a bow emote in return to unlock a special achievement.
Number 1.
I tried to steer clear of including any temporary content in this top 10 list, but the truth is, my favorite experience to date in Guild Wars 2 was the Mad King's Clock Tower jumping puzzle. This harrowing timed event was only available during the Shadow of the Mad King patch last October, but players still talk about this extremely challenging event. As you clamber to new heights teetering on cogs and planks, there isn't much time to enjoy the ambience, but the atmosphere and music during this vertical challenge simply ooze the Halloween spirit. Though I wanted to tear my hair out and smash my keyboard several times during the 250 plus attempts I made, when I finally reached the top and earned my Mad King Slipper reward, it was extremely gratifying. The Clock Tower's difficulty generates polarized reactions from the player base, but I certainly can't wait to tackle it again come October. Well, that wraps up my top 10 epic encounters in Guild Wars 2. I hope you enjoyed my list. Let me know which some of your favorite encounters are in the comments field below. Once again, my name is Richard Procopio for Massively.com. Don't forget to check out Massively.com every single day for all of your MMO news, and you can check me out on my personal YouTube channel, youtube.com/bogotter. Take care and have a great day.